ImbueDesk is excited to invite you all to be part of IIIP ImbueDesk International Internship Program. We will help you master your basics, build real-time projects, and make you gain experience to work with us part-time and full-time. Be part of our revolutionary platform to work with us on our open-source projects and gain international experience. On completion of this course, you are given an assignment to finish. Those who finish the assignment are awarded with project-based work experience certification and lot other benefits. We will train you on latest technologies. We will make you a professional in your chosen technology. We will make you gain experience in your chosen technology by making you build 20+ real-time projects during our IIIP Level 2, Level 3 courses. To know more about IIIP, you can always contact ImbueDesk team as mentioned.
Welcome to the ImbueDesk International Internship Program. So I'll be taking up React Native course. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what is React Native and what React Native actually does and why is it so exciting and easy to learn. So before that, let's talk about the prerequisites of this course. So the prerequisites for this course is just the basic knowledge of JavaScript and the basic understanding of command line and basic knowledge of HTML and CSS. So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a text-based programming language used both on client side and server side that allows you to make web pages interactive. HTML and CSS are languages that give structure and style to web pages. JavaScript gives web pages interactive elements that engage a user. So it includes things like animated graphics, photo slideshows, and interactive forms. So what is JavaScript library? So a JavaScript library is a library of pre-written JavaScript that allows for easier development of JavaScript-based applications, especially for Ajax and other web-centric technologies. So generally speaking, JavaScript libraries are a collection of pre-written code snippets that can be used and reused to perform common JavaScript functions. So a particular JavaScript library code can be plugged into the rest of your project's code on an as-needed basis. So comes React Native. So what is React Native? So React Native is very similar to React. It is very different because here we'll be making use of the framework where we'll be building native applications. So whenever we talk about native applications, the term native app development refers to building a mobile app exclusively for a single platform. The app is built with programming languages and tools that are specific to a single platform. So whenever you write a program in any sort of high-level programming languages, as soon as your processor sees it, it will not understand that. So your program has to be compiled, broken down into what we call as native code or the bytecode which your processor can actually understand and work with. And this exactly is what we are doing with React Native. So we have a language which is based on JavaScript and we try to use this to bridge the gap between. So let's say Android and iOS for example, to bridge gaps and make sure that we have one code that can do a lot of things. Alright, so what React Native does is, it compiles all of these into what we call as native app components, and this at the end of the day can help you build native mobile applications. So one application, one programming language can work for both iOS and Android. So abstraction of native React comes from React itself. So the syntax is almost the same now. So now you understand the advantage of React Native, right? So you get to approach this in the native programming aspect of thing with having the ability to keep the syntax almost the same. That is a huge win-win. So where does the difference lie in between React and React Native? Well, it's mostly in the components and how you use the components itself. So, what are the best apps built with React Native? There's no doubt the framework is popular among the biggest players. React Native commenced as Facebook's hackathon project developed in response to companies' needs. Facebook wanted to bring to mobile all the advantages of web development, such as quick iterations and having a single team developing the whole product. That is how React Native was brought to life and leveraged in mobile app development for both iOS and Android apps. So, these are some of the companies which are using React Native: Facebook, Instagram, Tesla, and Skype. So, why React Native? So, they are fast, effective, and React Native is relatively easy to learn for JavaScript developers. React Native apps are equipped with a powerful modern technology that helps businesses all around the globe to reach new customers on mobile platforms. These are some of the interesting apps that you can build using React Native. So, here are some examples. This is a restaurant app which you can build using React Native, and an e commerce application, and also a furniture application where you can create and build with your innovative ideas. So it will be fun creating these applications on React Native. Trust me. So now we are gonna check out all the differences in the upcoming videos. But for now, you have to understand the quick advantages about using React Native. One thing is for sure, React Natives come with all the advantages that React provides. So now what happens in React Native is all the logic layer entities can be continuously reused as many times as you want to build the exact same application as I mentioned for Android, iOS, or whatever the requirement is. So instead of having your developers working on Android separately and having another set of developers working on iOS separately, your React Native gives you a huge advantage of it. So, what happens with the rendering aspect of the code is that it takes the native APIs that can handle this. So, there are certain programming interfaces which have the capability to understand native code, and they know how to take whatever program that you have written in and convert it to an aspect where the processor understands what's going on. So, how difficult is it to work with React Native? Well, let me tell you, if you know JavaScript or you know how JavaScript works in general. So, now how difficult is it to work with React Native? Well, let me tell you, if you know JavaScript or if you know how JavaScript works in general, or the syntax and all of that, it is very easy to jump to React Native as well. If you're a front end developer and if you're looking to move towards mobile development with React Native, that is very beautifully done here. So the jump will really not take much effort from your side, and you'll find it easy as you go along as well. So now one more very important thing where we talk about React Native is that the world understands the power of React Native and using of the old applications. So let's be very honest here. But then now all of them or majority of them would want to use React Native, right? So if you have an old application that you want to revamp, or let's say you want to redo from scratch, so doing it with React Native is going to add value from then. So you know that on towards the future as well, you can have all the user interface components and you would really not have to rewrite them and all. So that is the biggest advantage of this React Native. You might ask me a question. Uh, is React Native app development very slow or very time consuming and all of that? So I would say that it is no. So let me tell you why. So you'll be concentrating on high speed development where you'll be catering to Android, iOS at the same time. So your performance just became two times. So of course with React you can add responsiveness to your applications, and you can make your applications more responsive in a way where it gives a better user interface and it drives that niceness that we all love in our mobile applications, right? So it's all about that. And with React Native, you can do all of these easily and all. So if you're wondering about that, the React Native app development is slow and all, so the answer is no. In the next video, let's talk about the difference between React and React Native.